Hi all, welcome to another video. Today we're going to be looking at how to create radio buttons and style them up to look like this. So when you select one, it gets highlighted and so on, as radio buttons usually work, but we're styling them to look something less boring. So let's get on with what we usually do. So we've got a folder up here called Radio Button Design, and within here I'm going to put the index.html and also a styles.css. And if we go to the HTML and make this a little bigger so we can see what we're doing, exclamation tab. I'm going to do radio button design, because that's what they're going to be, buttons. And let's do link tab and put in here styles.css. Okay, let's open this with live server and away we go. Right, first thing we are going to do is create a container. So going to create a container class, tab, there we go. So I'm sure you're familiar with radio buttons, or sorry, they're not actually buttons yet, radio inputs, but actually let's just give this a heading first to get that out of the way. So radio button design. I think we're all clear on what this is now. I've typed that in several times. So input type, input, we want radio, tab, save. So as you can see, there's radio button. If we copy this, radio buttons, although they are all individual radio buttons at the moment, so let's get rid of that. We need to give this group a name, and I'm just going to say radio group would be more appropriate, I suppose. And this one I'm going to just call R1 because I'm lazy, and the type is radio. Okay, so if we grab that, copy, paste, paste, paste. How many did we have? 4. Okay. And so we can give them all individual IDs. Save. And now you'll see that they're all part of the same group, so only one can be selected at a time, which is how radio buttons should really work. So the way we're going to do this is we're going to use the label for the buttons. So let's do label, and it will automatically say 4. This is going to be for R1. So this, let's move the end of tag there, so everything's within the label element. So we're going to put everything inside here. I'm also actually going to give a class to all these radio buttons or radio inputs of, would you believe, radio button. So in here I'm going to create another class, not call it class, but I'm going to call it button, and this is where we're going to put our button stuff. Technical term, that stuff. Anyway, in here I'm going to put iTag. That is where the font awesome icon is going to go, which we'll get to in a mo. And here is where I'm going to put the title, description, whatever you want to call it. Save. So if we click on coding, or anywhere within here really, then it highlights it. Okay, so we want to, I suppose, let's go and sort the styling out before we do the other three. Let's just do one. So let's go to styles. I am going to go to Google Fonts, and I'm going to use the Montserrat. Obviously I've already got this already selected because of my example. So again, go Google Fonts, search what you want, select all the different styles. You can come over here, go to the import, grab everything between the styles tag, copy, paste, and there you have it. Now if we go to select everything, and then we can scroll down here a little bit, grab the rule by clicking this, save, and there we go, font has changed like magic. Let's do all the other resets. Padding 0, margin 0, box sizing, where's X, there it is, border box. Okay, now let's move on to the body. Let's sort that out first. So body height, I'm going to say 100 viewport height, and width is going to be 100%. I'm going to do display flex because I want them bang in the middle, the container that is. So I'm going to do that by using the align item center and justify content center. Then I want to apply a background linear gradient, which I've already got from a CSS generator. Apply that. There we go. And I'm also going to give the... No, I think that'll do it, to be honest. Let's go down to the container. So in this one we want to do display flex as well, and I want to do flex direction flex direction of column, just to be specific. That's really because I can't remember what the default one usually is. Background color, I'm going to use an RGBA of black, so 30% opacity, so it's like that, so it's transparent. I'm going to give position relative so we can absolute position stuff inside it, and I'm going to give some padding 30 pixels all the way around, like that. Let's give it a border radius of 5 pixels, like so, and let's put a gap between the items inside of 20 pixels, like that. Now you'll see that this one's different to these because we've enclosed it in a label, the first one. So we'll want to do that with the others when we get around to doing that. So what do we have in here? H3, let's do that. H3, say font weight 400, because if we look up here we've got 400 included in the ones we specified earlier, so we can use it. I'm going to do a font size of 1.5 rem, and also a colour of light grey, and let's give it a margin bottom of 20 pixels. There we go. Not too bad. Right, let's get rid of that extra semicolon, or colon, whatever you call it. Right then, let's go back to the index. As you can see, we have this class here, which is this div with the class of button. So we've got the actual radio button, radio input itself there, and then we've got this class. So we don't want to see this, we do want to see this, but they're all in the same place because we obviously, when we click on this, we still want it to check because we're relying on that. So that's why it's all encapsulated within the label, because anything you click with inside the label will check and uncheck the radio button. Hope that made sense. So let's get this and style it. So again, display flex. Flex direction I'm going to do as column again. Flex direction column. The width I'm going to say 100%, and height I'm going to give us 100 pixels, and I'm going to make sure there's no border, and I'm going to give a box shadow to the individual buttons, and I'm going to say x0 y0 blur 20 pixels, and it's going to be RGBA as usual with black at 20% opacity. There we go. So let's give that a border radius as well. Border radius 5 pixels. So there we go. Let's align items to the center. Good. What do we want to do for the justification? Well, because we want it spaced out a bit, let's do space around like that, and let's do a colour for the text as a light grey like that, and when we actually hover over it we want a pointer, so let's do cursor pointer. What we don't want to be able to do is select the text, because there's really no point in that. So user select none, so we can no longer highlight that. Okay, so that's the button. Let's hover the button. So button hover. Let's say backgrounds color of, I've got one here, 441 E5E. God knows where I got this from, but there you go. Should we put a transition on that? Why not? Transition background color 0.5 seconds. Save. There you go, it's better. Or is it? I don't know. I don't really like that colour, but anyway. I'm sure you can play around and get one that suits your eyes. So what we do want to do is actually say, well, when it's checked, we want to change the background colour, because as you can see, if we click this, yep, that's fine. Keep an eye on this up here. If we click this button, it's checked. That's what we're looking for. So radio button checked, and then we want to affect the button class that's adjacent to it, hence the reason we used the plus symbol. So background color, we're going to change that to a light grey, and the colour of the text, so we're going to change to an RGB, which is I've got one of, I think that's what I did. So there you go. So if we select this one, it goes back to normal. If we select this, changes colour. Okay, right then, we need to put the little icons in there, don't we? So let's go to font awesome, if I can spell it, CDN. Let's grab this one. Let's go back to index. Need to go to the top, create another link, tab, and in there paste that link. So now we have access to the font awesome library. So font awesome icons. Let's go and have a look. So what have we done here? This one's coding. So be a good idea to search code. There we go, code. Copy. Replace these I tags because they'll be already there. Save. And there you have it. So I think this is probably a good point to get rid of these. Copy this. And then we can just change this to a 2. 2. 3. 3. 4. 4. Save. There you go. Pick any of them. And that's that. So we need to get rid of these actual inputs here. So I guess the easiest way to do that is to say radio button appearance none, and there you go. That's essentially it, but we haven't finished yet. Come on, we can't leave it like that. So button I, so that's the font awesome icons display block font size 2 rem. That's better. Okay, the actual, let's have a look. If we go back here, you can see this is pretty much the same as this. So we just need to go and replace these now. So what are we doing here? So if we have a look in the example, we've got comms, file, settings. So let's do that. This one, comms, files, settings. There you go. Now we just need to change the icons. Let's find comms. So where did I find you? In fact, let's just put in what it is, which is a headset. There we go. That one. So we're on number 2. Okay. This one, what was this? Files. So let's search files. Which one did we use? That one. So that would be that one. Files. And settings, which I think were gear icons. So let's just look for gears. I think it was here. I think it was that one. Put that in there. Save it all. And there we go. All done. Good. And then when you completely refresh, none of them are selected. Yeah, that is pretty much it. How to style radio inputs, radio buttons. I don't think they're actually called radio buttons, but anyway, these are, because we've made them into buttons. But that's how to actually select without using JavaScript. It's a lot of people prefer that way. It depends on your situation, I suppose. But anyway, if you've learnt something, liked it, please do leave a like, subscribe, leave comments, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video. It will be in a GitHub repo, which I'll link below as always. So until next time, take care and thanks for watching.